need to be taken into account. I just heard an automated message. I don't know what it meant.
Yeah, I'm archiving the session, Dan.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure other people could hear it. The campus is, as we know, it's federally funded. It has federal funding, and because of that, it falls under certain guidelines that govern accessibility. The one that most people are familiar with is the Americans with Disabilities Act. The other one that people are less familiar with is called Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act, and both of those together kind of are the main laws that I'm familiar with for governing accessibility to content. And so when we're designing, and I've just been speaking, yesterday I had a long meeting with web designers in the libraries, for instance, and we were talking about the importance of having redundancy in pages that are designed. But it would be true of other delivery systems as well. It's critical to be able to have alternate ways to get to the information. So I don't know if that's a good introduction or not, June, but I could go on. I could talk way too long. So I'd rather find out what people have to ask, and of course, mind you, I can't see anything that anyone else can see, so a brief description might be helpful if you're looking at something in particular.
Yeah, I think that's good. Let me ask if anybody has questions for Dan before I continue with my part. Anybody has question? You need to talk. Okay, Akila said, interested in the web AIM. Akila, what is that? What's it? You want Dan give you an introduction to that? Oh, okay. Akila is referring to there's a accessibility validator. Is that right, Akila? Accessibility check to check whether a website is accessibility can meet that criteria set by web AIM. Have you heard?
There are several, and web AIM, I believe, is one of them that I've heard of. These are typically websites that you can visit, and you can plug a web address into that site. It will analyze the content of that site and let you know what different things need to be done to bring it into compliance with the guidelines. And some of these automated tools are better than others. Some give you more direction. Some are not. Most of them are not free. The ones that you pay for are very expensive, and the free ones are they're usable. And in fact, we're using them with the Student Affairs Web Accessibility Group right now to try and analyze the Student Affairs websites. So perhaps I could send more tools, information about other tools out to some of the participants here today.
Oh, great. You can email me. I can send to the participants today.
Okay.
I'm not able to see anybody. Akila asked you, what do you recommend? You're going to include that information in your email, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So then, since you're not able to see the screen, I'm going to continue with my part. But if you need any training, any help with the captioning Camtasia video, I can set up one-on-one meeting with you. Does that work? Are you still there?
Are you talking to me, June?
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry. I can't tell when other people are speaking. I only hear your voice. So.
Okay. I'm going to continue with my part to demonstrate how to add captions in Camtasia. Since you are not able to see anything I'm doing here today, if you are interested in how to do that, I can meet with you for one-on-one session. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry for the technical problem. Okay, so we will continue on this part. Now, as Dan just mentioned, we all know that I think based on my experience, I think a major initial challenge in many universities and many organizations to implement accessibility, some challenges include the lack of awareness and the lack of understanding of accessibility issues, and also lack of investment to implement this positive change. But despite all of those, we will make sure we do things in the right way from the beginning. We know that making course content accessible can bring lots of benefits to your students. Accessibility not only makes the content more user-friendly, all students, include those non-disabled students, can benefit from it. For example, instructional videos with captions will serve as language learning tools, especially for those students who are not native English speakers or for those international students. For me, it really helps a lot. Now, Fluency has a great how-to guide for creating accessible online learning content. I'm going to push it out now. And this website, you can bookmark this site if you are interested. And this website gives a comprehensive accessibility how-to guide and overview for instructors, for those instructors who are thinking of getting started to deal with accessibility issues. Now, the guidelines for accessible video and audio content is listed under non-HTML section. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see that. You can also find how to make a Word document, PDF, and PowerPoint accessible under that section. But today we will focus mainly on how to caption videos to make the instructional videos accessible. This task may sound daunting, but as a matter of fact, accessibility can be easily achieved if you start your project with accessibility in mind. Now, let's talk about the basics first. Chunking. Chunking your video into a manageable segments. A video presentation should be, this is our recommendation, video presentation should be no longer than 15 minutes. Anything longer should be either sectioned accordingly or chunked into multiple smaller video clips. This is our first recommendation. Now, here are some ways to make a video accessible. Adding captions to the video. There are two types of captions, open captions and closed captions. Open captions are disabled all the time. Your students are not able to turn them off. Closed captions are only displayed when the student turn it on. So the student has the option to turn on the caption or turn off the caption. So this closed caption is recommended. Another way is to provide a text version of the video, of the audio content in the video on the page, or you can provide a link to the scripts of the audio in the video on the page. So there are two ways to make your video more user-friendly. There are three ways to add captions to your video. You can add captions manually, you can add captions automatically, or you can import a prepared caption file. Now, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to those three methods, then I'm going to go ahead to demonstrate you how to do that in Camtasia. First, add captions manually. You can manually type each caption into the text box in Camtasia, and then you set caption points to determine where the caption should begin and end. And to some of you who like to write out a script to go with when you create the video, it will save you a lot of time if you have a script. So you save the script. Now, when you go into Camtasia, you can import the script to Camtasia to be synchronized with the audio playback. I will show you how to do this in a moment. The second way is to add caption using automatic speech to text feature. And this feature only available to the Camtasia version 7 or 7.1. And Camtasia 7 or 7.1 is able to automatically generate captions from audio on the timeline. This feature makes use of Microsoft speech-to-text engine. Now, the third way is import a prepared timed caption file. Once you have that file imported into Camtasia, the caption is automatically synchronized with the audio playback. Now, many online video caption services provider can turn your scripts into a timed caption file if you are interested in letting those providers to take care of this to you. And they usually charge based on per minute video length, and the cost is usually from 99 cents to $2. And here are some good providers. I did some research on this part. Actually, Chris Hagen, he recommended the DocSoft. This is the cheapest one among those three providers. They only charge 99 cents for the timed caption. So what they do is that you send them the audio file for your video, and then they send you back the timed caption file, and then you can import into Camtasia, and the file will be automatically synchronized with the video. All you need to do is to publish the video. That's all you need to do. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you how to manually add captions and also how to automatically add captions by using the speech-to-text feature in Camtasia. I'm going to share my desktop now, so bear with me for 1 second. Now, before I share, for the best viewing of the shared screen, I want you to go to maximize your window by clicking the right top. There's a maximize the square on the right top of your window. That square, to click that square to maximize your window. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, give me a green check if you are able to see my desktop. Okay, great. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. See, I have a video on the timeline here in Camtasia, and then I want to add a caption. First, I want to add a caption manually. Now, to do that, you need to go to the More button here. Now, from the drop-down menu, click Captions. Now, once you click Captions, the caption screen will show inside the software. Here's the caption window. Now, the first thing you need to decide is to where you want the captions to be displayed on the video. Do you want your video to be displayed? Do you want the caption to be displayed on the video, or do you want to place captions underneath the video? So the two different options. Now for the closed caption, Camtasia recommend choosing on video option. The reason is that the under video option actually will increase your video dimension, your video file size, because the under video option adds a viewing area beneath the video.
Could I make an observation here, June?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but
oh, it's okay. You're welcome to jump in anytime. I'm glad you're still there.
one brief comment is that for deaf users, when captioning occurs on top of the existing image, they may be missing useful information. So even if you're losing some of your viewing area, and even if it uses more memory, it may be useful for deaf individuals to have the captioning in a separate box, and then you don't have contrast issues with the background image either. So
exactly.
Just that comment.
That is really a good point. Thank you, Dan.
Sure.
Okay. This is first thing to determine where to put your caption. Dan just recommend to put it beneath the video, but it's depending on what kind of content you have at the bottom of your video. So depending on your situation, you can decide. But I think Dan, that's a really good point. We need to be aware of that. Another thing is that make sure this ADA compliant button appear in blue if you want your video captions to meet ADA requirements. Now, by default, new captions are added by using the ADA compliant font settings. If you want to change any of those font attributes, ADA compliant button will gray out, but you can always restore the option by clicking on the button again to make it appear blue. Now, to add captions, just click the Add Caption button. So I click that, and then you can play the video and listen to the audio and manually type each caption in the text box here. Now, when you do this, make sure you have maximum 3 lines of text on the screen per each caption, and up to 32 characters per each line. This is requirement by ADA caption. This is ADA caption requirement. Okay, so here I'm typing my caption manually, line by line, which is really time-consuming. Now you may notice that Camtasia adds all the captions to a caption track on the timeline here. So you see there's a caption track. If you want to edit any caption, you simply double-click on the caption you want to edit. So I'm going to edit my first caption here. So I double-click. Now you see the selected caption is highlighted in blue, and you can edit the caption and change the text there. Now, one thing here is that if you press Enter key from your keyboard, the video will play only that selected caption. Now you keep pressing Enter key to repeat the playback only on that caption, so you can make edits to that caption, which is really very cool feature here. See, I'm modifying that selected caption here. Now, if any of the caption is not synchronized well with the audio on the timeline, and you can adjust the duration of the caption like this. And also you can drag the caption on the caption track to adjust the position of the caption. Now, if you want to, if you like to write a script for your video, and this will save you lots of time, and you can copy the script from a Word document. I'm copying my script, and then you can paste the script into the caption text box here. Here's my script. I don't have many. I don't have very long script here, just for the demonstration here. And then after you paste the scripts into this caption text box, you notice both black and red text in the box. By default, there's 3 lines of black text appearing on the video as the first captioned text, and you need to make sure your caption are no more than 3 lines. of text appearing on screen all at once. Now the red text is a text which hasn't been added to the video, which hasn't been captioned. Now I'm going to synchronize the caption with the video now. To do that, I click this sync caption button. So click on this button. Now the Camtasia will present you with these short instructions on how to do this first. Now click continue, and your video will begin to play back from the beginning of the timeline. Now what you need to do is to listen to the video, and when you hear the word you want to set as the start of the next screen caption, you need to click on the word. Now you see as a result, another 3 lines of text turned black and are displayed on the video. So you will need to do the same thing for the rest of the red text, for the text which is not captioned. I don't have more text here. So basically this is how you do it. When you hear a word you want to set as the start of next caption point, you need to click on that word. Here's my caption synchronized with the audio. You see that Camtasia add each caption to the caption track on the timeline. If you want to edit any caption, you just double-click on the caption on the timeline to select that caption in the text box. You press Enter keyboard from your keyboard to play that caption. Now I'm going to make some edits to my caption here. So I press Enter key to play that caption, and while the video is playing that caption, I'm doing all those modifications. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all those manually added captions on the timeline. Next, I'm going to use the speech-to-text feature to automatically add captions. The speech-to-text feature, as I just mentioned, is only available to current version of Camtasia, and it utilizes the Microsoft speech engine to convert the audio in your video presentation into captions. Now, if you are using Windows 7 and Vista, Microsoft speech engine is part of the Office, so you don't need to install it. Yet, if you are using Windows XP, Microsoft speech engine is not installed. You can go to the Microsoft website to install the free one. So to start the whole process, just click the speech-to-text button here. Now you will see this window pops up. For more accurate speech-to-text transcription of your audio recordings, you need to go through the voice training tutorial to train your computer to better recognize your voice. According to Camtasia, best accuracy requires 4 to 5 hours of training, and this sounds really overwhelming to me, and very labor intensive. The thing is that the more you train your computer, the better result you could get. If you are a native English speaker, have a clear enunciation, you may have really good luck. It takes me hours to train my computer to recognize my voice. Since I'm a non-English native speaker, my accent really gives my machine really hard time to be able to recognize my voice.
May I jump in for a moment?
Yes.
June,
Yes.
the secret to dictation success is consistency. And so
Okay. Yeah.
the software is really looking for consistency of usage. So if you say words as consistently as possible, the training can be cut down considerably.
That's great.
Yeah.
So even if I'm not speaking the standard, I mean that even if I have strong accent, my computer should still be able to recognize.
It will improve the time, but it will still struggle with accents.
Yeah. For me, it's really it's a torture for me.
It's anticipating certain things that with an accent it's not hearing. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
So here I click the voice recognition, voice training screen pops up here. Now what you basically do, just read aloud the text on the screen to follow the prompts on the screen. So after you're done, just click the continue button here. And then Camtasia begins the process of converting the audio to transcript for you. Now, when this process is complete, the captions appear on the timeline, and all the captions are synchronized on the time. That's the beauty of using this speech to text. You don't need to manually sync the text to the audio. Now, you may need to do lots of editing on your part, since the capitalization and punctuation are not added. And maybe there are some words is not transcribed accurately during the speech-to-text process. So double-click on one of the captions on the timeline and press Enter to play back the selected caption to edit them, as I'm doing here. So to summarize, there are two ways to add captions. One way you can manually copy and paste the script of your audio to the caption editing window. Another way you can use this speech to text feature to do that. I think for most of you are native speakers, you may have really good luck using this. So give it a try. And you need to do some tests to find which way you feel more comfortable. But if you can really make your machine to recognize your voice very well, it will save you tons of time and tons of labor and efforts. Okay, now I'm done with caption my video here. Now the last thing I need to do is publish my video with these captions. So that is what we are going to do next. So to do that, I go to File, and then go to Produce and Share. Now, if you only want a closed caption, and if you don't want to control modify any of those video settings, such as the video output dimension, you want Camtasia to take care of all the production settings for you. Just go to Web. So from this production wizard, from the first drop-down menu, pick Web, and then you just click Next. The Camtasia will produce a video for you, publish a video. Here's a caption button here. You see the visitor can turn it off or choose to turn it on. Now, if you do want to have more control on the video properties, or if you want to have an open caption, you need to select this custom production settings from this production wizard. Now make sure for the file type, you need to use the MP4 or Flash to publish this video. Now when you are in this screen, there are several things you need to do here. For the closed caption option, if you want to have a closed caption, you need to, from the controller, you need to pick the overlay controls. Now once from the preview window, you see once you pick overlay controls, the caption option is there. Now if you don't want closed caption, if you want open caption, you just pick classic from the controller. Now you see the closed caption is not available. I'm going to switch back to closed caption option. So I'm going to switch back to overlay control here. And then just publish the video. Here's my video. Now let's see, where is that closed caption? There it is. So I can turn it on or turn it off. That is whole steps. That is all the steps you need to do to add captions. Now I'm going to end application share. Let's see if anybody has any question, either for Dan, he's still here.
Yes, I am.
Any questions there? Dan, do you have anything to add?
Well, only that that I think it's very important that any content that you're providing to students be made accessible, and not just from a best practices perspective, but also from a legal perspective, because it was just in the last couple of years that there have been some major institutions that have suffered greatly because of lawsuits. So it's important for us to try to deliver our content in multiple ways to students and in the classroom.
Yes, I know accessibility, this issue is becoming more and more prominent now, with so many students began to taking online courses, especially online courses. Yeah. Okay. Anybody has any input? Deb, Sharon, Lee, Lauren, Akila, anything to add? Any question there?
Well, Akila or June, I'll just add that while there are some pretty significant differences between Camtasia on the Windows platform and on the Mac, this is one feature that is available on the Mac version of Camtasia. So, and it works pretty similarly, I think.
Does the Mac version has a speech-to-text feature there, Deb?
Like you, I think, I'm trying to remember now because I haven't played with it in about a month. If it is there, I think I just decided I didn't have the time to even fiddle with that. I found it fairly easy and intuitive to just use the manual integration and just go for my script and sort of type the pieces of my script in where appropriate.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Akila asked, is Winba Classroom accessible? According to Winba, yes, it is accessible to students with learning disabilities, but we need to do some coding there in the chat window. Winba actually has a lengthy accessibility handbook there. If you are interested, I can show you. Akila also said when I use Web AIM does not look like it. Akila, do you want to elaborate on that? What do you mean? Oh, you use Winba AIM to validate Winba Classroom. Is that what you did? Oh, how can you do that? Winba Classroom is a platform, it's not a website. Akila, are you able to talk since Dan is not able to?
Yeah, I'm able to talk. I basically anything that's got a URL can be validated, and I didn't know if anyone has any other tools or any other suggestions that I could use to also just double check and things like that. I didn't know if anyone also had experience with accessibility in Wimba.
Well, I will be forwarding to June the tools that I'm aware of so that she can share it with others.
Great. Thank
you. I didn't know the original question was going to me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hannah, do you want to share what you have there?
Well, it's more a question of what would constitute evidence of accessibility in Wimba. Yeah. So, for example, if you're using, if you have if you're using PowerPoint slides and you're talking, and is that enough?
It mainly refers to those students with hearing impairment, those deaf students who cannot hear what you are talking there. Because when you are using PowerPoint, you are talking there. You are doing the lecture with audio, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so,
if the student is not able to hear what you are talking about, they can only see the PowerPoint. But what you elaborate on the slides. You don't only just read on the slides, right? You are doing the lecture there. So if students are not able to hear you, how can they still attend your Wimba class? That is.
So could you record yourself? Let's say I've got Windows 7. So could I record my lecture and use the voice recognition software to do the transcription? Either that or say Dragon. Use Dragon.
Yes,
it wouldn't be simultaneous.
Yeah, Dragon's a good tool for that.
Yes, Dragon. The Dragon. What's the full name for that software?
Dragon Naturally Speaking.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Naturally Speaking. Yes. Hannah, actually, with Wimba Classroom, you can actually download your archive as MP4 video. And then you can either using the Dragon Natural Speaking software to add caption there, or you can import the video into Camtasia, and you can add caption in that way.
Oh, well, that's so could you just repeat those two? Import into Camtasia would be one option. Mm-hmm. What was the other?
You said you are going to use a Dragon Natural Speaking software to do that, to dictate the video, right?
Well, I'm assuming that I would, I could either, it would be great to be able to run the Dragon while I was actually giving the lecture in. Because I archive all my. I archive my I do lectures and archive them and provide students with the PowerPoints, and so they can, of course, download the MP4 and they have the PowerPoints. But if I were able to simultaneously give the lecture in Wimba as an archived lecture, and at the same time use either Dragon or, I guess, my Windows recorder, that would really save me a lot of time instead of doing the lecture twice, if you know what I mean. Are you following?
Yeah, I'm following, and I wanted to just jump in and and say that I think that it may be slightly problematic, as you've described it, because Dragon requires for it to have a high degree of accuracy that you use end punctuation after your sentences. It likes to know where one sentence ends. It can start sentences fine on its own. It can only work for one voice at a time, so one person trains it. You can't use it with a group or even two people for that matter. So there are some, you could try it, and there would probably cleanup necessary because in the real classroom environment, you're not going to be speaking quite the same way that you would if you were doing dictation.
Yes, I have used Dragon, and I know it, especially earlier versions are highly problematic, like you've indicated. But I actually prepare the lectures on Wimba ahead of time, and so they're already set up as intended to be archived and viewed later by the students. So I guess it may be worth trying it, but maybe it's better to work through Camtasia. I haven't done that, although I do have Camtasia.
Well, being familiar with Dragon, I think that's a great step up, and I think that it has more commands available, and you probably can navigate more easily through your content. So
I don't have any experience with Dragon, so I don't know how it can work with Wimba here.
And I don't have any experience with Wimba, so but I think it's very feasible. If there's only one speaker and you're familiar with the program and you know the content, I think it would be the fastest solution for getting
Dragon.
Yeah, for the fastest solution for getting that content into a text format.
Do you know, is there a Dragon application for iPad, iPhone, or iPod?
There is. However, my understanding is it's cloud-based. So you speak to it. It sends out what you said to a server, which then interprets what you said and then sends it back to your device. Which is because Dragon is the speech files that are created with Dragon are enormous, and the software that's used is a little bit outside of the scope of cell phones and pads at this point. But I think when they start getting to quad cores and things like that, it's not going to be a problem.
Great. Okay. Akila, for your accessibility for Wimba Classroom, Wimba does have accessibility handbook there. I can show you if you're more interested. I don't have much experience with that either, so we can explore together, maybe after the training. Any other questions?
Could I give people, if anyone wants to contact me, June, I could give out my contact information?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's my extension on campus is 47958. That's 47958, and my email address is wdn@umd.edu.
Okay,
wdn@umd.edu.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
Great. Okay, anybody has other comments, feedback? If you don't have any, I'd like to announce next week's webinar. Debmatic is going to show you some strategies to help your students get started with online courses. So if you don't have anything to share, I'm going to see you next week. Thank you for joining us today. Bye.
Thanks, June.
Thank you, Dan.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to email you.
Very good.
Bye.
Bye-bye.